Every few months or so, we hear U.S. officials talk about the efforts to free Novi native Paul Whelan from imprisonment in Russia. Rarely do we hear from Russia's president on this specific matter. Sean Lay live with more on what Vladimir Putin has had to say and how Whelan's family is reacting to that. Everything Putin says on state TV, we know, Sean, has to be taken with a bit of a grain of salt.
And I couldn't wait, Devin, to speak with David Whelan in San Diego, Paul Whelan's brother, getting up every day thinking of his brother in that Russian prison work camp for the last 5 years. He got up this morning, he tells me, turned on the TV, and there's Vladimir Putin talking about his brother.
So I was surprised that Paul came up during it, but it was good to hear a little bit more information.
David Whelan, the brother of Paul Whelan, reacting today to Russian President Vladimir Putin being asked directly about Paul Whelan, now held in a Russian prison since 2018, charged with spying. Putin said he was in talks with the U.S. about a trade and eventual release.
Is the team convincing to you, like he was telling the truth?
Well, I think he was saying the same thing that we have known for about 2 years now. Back in 2021, President Putin and President Biden met in Geneva, and they opened up a channel to discuss prisoner exchanges. And so that channel has been used successfully twice and unsuccessfully 3 times. So I think that he was really just restating what everybody understood was the situation.
Putin said he did not refuse to return Americans held in Russia, and he wants to make a deal that would send Paul Whelan home. David Whelan saying Russia turned down the latest offer is actually a step in the right direction.
So the fact that the most recent one was rejected was actually a positive sign from my perspective, because at least we know that the Russians don't want that. But otherwise, I think the U.S. is still sort of fishing in the dark to figure out what it is that the Russians want.
Fishing in the dark to figure out what Russia wants in exchange for Paul Whelan and other Americans, like a Wall Street Journal reporter, Devin. What David Whelan is saying in there is that the U.S. has made offers, and there's been no response from the Russian government whatsoever. The response of a no was a positive, getting them to respond about Paul Whelan and making a step forward, hopefully to bring him home. Back to you.
We sure hope so. Such a long, long wait. All right, Sean.